Hello, hi. Oh, for a second I was worried the headpad redeem wouldn't work. But welcome. Oh, oh, I think it cut out the TTS. But thank you. Such kind words, except for that dense part. But thank you for the sub. Welcome, welcome. And before we begin, yeah, the toothpaste thing. Because I think mint and I think toothpaste. That's just kind of the association I've built up like over the years, you know? Also, ATD's in here, okay? So the first redeem has not been claimed. But damn, it has been 6 months. That is wild. How y'all doing? I am doing great. I think the day off was the rest I really needed. I feel like my voice has recovered quite a lot. You know, I can talk and not suffer. But yeah, I was tempted to just reschedule it and all, but I was thinking, you know what? No. I need proper rest. Let me rest. Keep the yapping to a minimum and you know, all works out. Minty toothpaste burns my mouth. I think that's I don't know if that's the mint that does that. Could be. I don't know. I just for me it's just a taste thing. Yeah, I can understand. Also, I wasn't feeling too hungry. So I thought, you know what, let me not have dinner. Next thing I know, right before stream starts, I'm like, I'm feeling peckish. So I have cookies now. Let me just open this. Yeah, chocolate chip cookies. But how have you guys been? Hold on, let me eat a couple of these and we can continue rigging. I don't think I've had McDonald's in like ages. I should see if there's one nearby, maybe. Life was absolutely crazy. How so? Hi, Seller. Welcome, welcome. Ow. Well, hello to you too. Okay, get all the headpats out of your system. I think I've been wanting to be more productive in working, but never could get myself to do just that. Yeah, understandable. I think that was basically me today. I think I woke up with like a headache, and it has not gone away like all day. I am feeling a bit better now, so but yeah, in the end it made me very unproductive today. But you get the points. I think head pads are cheaper than bricks. Hmm. I'm wondering if I should change that, but for now, no, it's okay. Okay, what did we do last time? Yeah, because you raised the price of bricks. Okay, because they were being spammed a bit too much, you know. So dietitian today officially on a diet and on the road to making my body greatest. You know, congratulations. It's always hard. I say this as I think there's about 1,000 calories in this entire packet of cookies, and there's a good chance I may consume all of them by the end of stream. There's no too many bricks. Okay. You know what I want to do? You'll notice the head pats. It's an individual basis rather than group thing. I'm thinking I should make it a group thing as well, kind of like the bricks. Rather than this person has pet, it'll be like cat has been pet these many times. You know, kind of split people in two factions: the ones who throw bricks and the ones who pet me. The stream, showing up for the stream, no, we can't have that, right? But someone petting the cat, nope, that goes too far apparently. You're the one who pets you most of the time. That is true. Hmm. Okay. Some a little bit of tweaking here and there. I have no idea. Just look at the brick numbers. Hmm. True. It was just a thought. You know, I have not worked on this until since like the last stream. You know, so I'm trying to remember what progress we made. We're also supposed to make a. We had a toggle. He's supposed to like sit on someone's head or like onto their shoulders. So yeah, the Ori cosplay is still not fixed. Oh, I saw you were drawing that the other day. You put it in the Discord. That was pretty cool. You know, I was thinking, as someone who is an artist and a rigger, one of the things I could do is when I do in quotes cosplays, I could just give myself new outfits. Since it's a chibi simple-ish model, new outfits shouldn't actually be that bad, you know? I could do it as like a little fun thing, you know? But yeah, that's just a thought. Made outfit perhaps? Yeah, I think that's like the first one that I have in mind. Cause I think it was a couple months ago. I saw like a lot of people had like a something for May Day. So I was like, if I'd known this in advance, I could have done something as well. Yeah, I was thinking I could just have, just little things, different outfits, mostly meme things, just for fun, you know. Okay, for real, I want to see Ordi in a AJ ass outfit. Or in a suit. I wore a suit, in my human disguise the other day. I was looking fresh, very classy. Some of my friends, when I told them, they didn't believe it was even possible. They've never seen me outside of anything other than t-shirt and jeans. So yeah. Also, I was trying my best to keep it clean because those things they get messy very easily, and it's a bit tougher to clean. You have to send them for dry cleaning. Dress up as a maid. I mean, nothing's stopping you. Have I told you about the friend I'll be visiting in China? I do not think so. That sounds like fun. I imagine Odi is True Undertale, AU, and you say edgy. I don't get that reference. I've never played Undertale. You just said you'd lick my finger after I bake for him. Oh, okay. I remember that one. You mentioned that the other day. It's quite the travel. How do you book a flight? Booking a flight is actually really easy if for those of you who've never done it. It's mostly you just go onto the website, all right? Destination, where you're departing from, maybe a few details like your passport number, name, etc., and that's about it. The only thing that's like tough is maybe getting a visa, depending on the country and where you're from. Because some places what's it called? Some places you can't just like show up. You have to get a visa in advance. It also depends on where you're from. So yeah, there are some countries where you just show up and at the airport itself, they give you the visa stamp right there, and that's it. Ooh, by the way, when booking, here's a scam, right? That airlines do whenever you're booking a ticket online. Listen very carefully. This can save you hundreds of dollars, right? Not clickbait. So, when you go on a website to book a ticket, you will see the price. It'll be like, for example, $100 for sake of simplicity. If you're on there for like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, the page will refresh and you'll realize, oh, it's now $130. And you're thinking, oh crap, this price is going up and up. I need to buy it now before it gets expensive. That is a scam, right? Because they see how long you're on the web page, and if you're there for a while, they start upping the price. If that's the case, what you should do is you just find the perfect flight, everything, all the details, right? The price goes up, doesn't matter. You close the browser, you wait 10 minutes, you pop back in, maybe incognito mode, right? The price will drop back down to how it was originally. That has saved me like so much money. So yeah, don't panic. It's not a scam. Sorry, it's not like, oh, the prices are going up and up and up. They're just trying to scare you into buying it. Let's do that on the web. It's the websites that do it. The people who sell the tickets. So yeah, they want to pressure you into buying the ticket. So what they do is they make you feel like the price is going up and up. So yeah, it's just a way they track you online through like your web browser. Like, oh, this user has been on for 10 minutes. They're being indecisive. So yeah, it's not nice, but that's the world we live in. So complaining doesn't do anything. But knowing the trick and how to like navigate around it, super super useful. KK, can I use my free model ticket to make you make a order sheep with the order count outfit real? I mean, sure, I suppose. Sure, I suppose. Yeah, it'll just be like a little hat that I put on. I think that's adorable. Out to the beach with friends made me Got rocks and send a pic. It's fairly easy. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's talk about tickets. Mm, but yeah, it's actually super easy. Um, it's just saying, hey, I am so and so. These are my details. I want to go here on this flight. Here's money. That's practically it. It's gonna be either me flying Air Asia. That's probably gonna cost me. Yeah, it'll cost you like, for example, if you're going domestically, um, it will cost you like maybe an extra 50 to even like 200 ringgit just because you stayed too long on the website. Now on the full outfit. I mean, what is the outfit? If I remember correctly, the outfit was just me very woolly. So every booking website is like that. I don't know about every single one, but probably large majority. With the carrot, yeah, I'll probably replace the staff. Even for hotels, I don't think hotels do that. But if you're booking it together with like the ticket, if you're doing one of those things, maybe. So yeah, be very cautious, guys. Don't get scammed. Money is expensive. You gotta learn not to waste it unnecessarily. It's okay to spend it, but wasting it like for no reason, I don't think so. Money gives happiness. I don't think so, but you can buy things that make you happy. I think that's an important distinction. I think that's a general thing almost anyone think of. The money gives happiness thing. I mean, put it this way. If you have money, you're not stressing about, you're not stressing about like, making your bills and this and that. You could just focus on just being chill and doing what you like, right? Okay, but imagine you wake up with $10 million. You're gonna be so happy. Do you know who's do you know who else is gonna be so happy? The IRS or whatever your local tax government branch is. Because you can't just tell them, hey, I woke up and I found this. They're gonna throw you in jail. They'll think you're a criminal. Money can give you happiness because you stay. Yeah, if you are stable, that's basically all you need. Like, okay, if you can afford a nice house, food to eat, all your essentials basically met. Maybe you're not driving around like a gold plated Lamborghini. That's fine. It won't really make that much of a difference. I think. Hold on. There was a study. I think it showed like a graph of how much money people make compared to like their happiness. There is kind of like a cap. It once you reach like a certain point, anything more than that, and like it just didn't have an effect. I have no IRS. Yeah, if you're in a different country, it's called something different. IRS is American. That does make sense. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you have no money, you are constantly struggling, thinking, "Oh, how do I make rent? Oh, I am stuck in this job I don't like. This is lots of troubles, lots of things that give you stress, right?" But if that's not a concern, then you have a lot more time and security to deal with like other problems rather than fighting to survive. You end up focusing on thriving rather than just surviving. So using $1 million something like supercars doesn't buy happiness exactly. But if you can afford that, you probably have like all your other needs met. I'm not a very materialistic cat, for better or for worse. So if I like won the lottery today, I don't think anyone would notice for like a very long time because they wouldn't be any outlandish lifestyle changes, you know? Thing I'm materialistic towards is music. Do you mean like instruments or okay, I have to go watch my cousin because I have to learn. I don't know what that means. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Always nice seeing you and hope to see you next time. Wait, what day is today? Today's Thursday. I'm streaming tomorrow. So yeah. Yeah, all the equipment. See, that would make sense because I think like better equipment, you can make like better music out of it. So, I can get behind that, That it makes music making easier. Oh, I understand. Like the first time I bought a soldering iron, like for electronics, I struggled. I was terrible at it. I practiced for I think weeks. I just ow. I practiced for weeks. I just could not even do like the most basic soldering until I went for like an internship and I was just like messing around with some of their stuff and I used their soldering iron and it was beautiful. It worked super easily. It was incredible. I thought, "Oh, this is the soldering iron. It must be really nice. That's why it's working." Next thing I knew, they ran out of their good solder. I started using the cheap alternatives. It was absolute garbage. It's like trying to imagine you're trying to spread cold butter over very soft bread. So, yeah, importance of good equipment. First thing I'm gonna get once my income starts flowing is better CPU so my computer stops lagging. Understandable. A good PC is a very good investment. I think like if for example, if someone is an aspiring VTuber and stuff, if you have like a bunch of money and you want to just like throw it into streaming, even if it's just like for fun, I would say good setup, good mic. Then model and camera and stuff. I think that comes a little bit later. Full on disregarded my last message. I don't think so. It didn't send? Probably not. Yeah, here I am being accused of crimes, okay? I am innocent. I have never done anything wrong ever in my life, so I don't know what you're talking about. You read the message of the friend going to the beach? Yeah, I did. I remember that one. I see, so I didn't listen to you. Yeah, no one ever listens to me. No one respects my authority here. I thought if I had like a big stick and wave it around, people might listen, but apparently not. Comes to guitars and basses, from my experience, everything over 500 is just a luxury. Yeah, you just need to know like what is a good return on investment, because at a certain point you start paying for like branding and all of that stuff rather than actual quality. So even the 100 ones are good nowadays. Yeah, I can imagine. What do you think of it? Is that starting to act weirdly? Okay, you know what? Let me go back to it. He went out to the beach with friends. He made oh, you said you like he made my nick out of a rock. I had no idea what nick was. I mean, maybe that's just their sense of humor. I don't know, because you're asking if they're starting to act weirdly. I don't know them, so I don't know what is normal and what is weird. So nickname since he doesn't know my name. Oh, okay, okay. I don't think that's weird. But then again, I'm probably not the person to ask about normal human etiquette because I am a cat, so things that I find normal probably could be weird. Things that I find weird are probably perfectly normal, so maybe I'm not the expert on the matter. Here's the thing. As a human being, which I assume you are, you know, not going to judge. As a human being, you have evolved with social instincts over like tens of thousands of years, right? Because humans are social animals. You will often feel the, in quotes, vibes are off long before you actually have any logical reason as to why something is weird or something is perfectly normal. So, yeah, trust that feeling. That is my advice of the day. Because a lot of times you'd be like, okay, this person is perfectly normal in every single way, and they've never done or said anything wrong ever. But I still get a very weird feeling. Trust that feeling. Don't like act upon it like, oh, I have a weird feeling, so I'm just gonna like throw a brick at this person. Oh, I don't know, right? Just be on guard. Like if you feel weird about someone, just think, like, ow. Just think like why? And if you can't put your finger on it, that means like your subconscious is telling you something your brain has not yet realized. Like for example, a study was done, I think on like TED Talks, right? I love how your first thought is throw a brick. Yeah, it was the first example of violence on my mind. So yeah. So fun fact: there was a study done on like TED Talks based on they basically got people to like judge like how good it went, right? Or how friendly or nice they thought the person on stage was. A very strong correlation that appeared was the people who would talk with their hands more were perceived as like, a lot friendlier, and the talk went in quotes well. But the ones who were kind of stiff and maybe put their hands behind their back more often, those ones were seen as like less trustworthy, right? Because it's like it's caveman instincts. Because if someone's hands are behind their back, you can't see whether they have like a weapon. And back in the day when people had like pointy rocks, right? Knowing whether someone was friend or foe, even a split second, kind of helps a lot. So yeah. Fun fact. So, if you want to appear more trustworthy, maybe embrace your inner Italian. Talk with your hands a bit more. Nice, cute. That's all. Not the dangerous type. It's not even dangerous. Like, something bad could happen. But sometimes, just like the vibes feel off, and someone maybe has like a difficult personality. I can think of like a few people, in my life where before they started having problems with like me and my other friends, they were signs. And I was like, but logically, they've not done anything wrong, so I'm just gonna ignore that feeling. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna ignore that feeling anymore. It's right more often than it's wrong in my case. So weird, but I do use hand gestures when talking to friends, even in Discord. I imagine with a camera. Oh, you'll notice, yeah, because like something through Discord, like maybe not talking, but like texting, it's very hard to convey like tone of voice, right? Because imagine every text is being sent like almost monotone, expressionlessly, right? So sometimes you could just be like jokingly saying something, but without tone indicators, essentially, it's very easy for someone to misinterpret it. So yeah, you'll notice I use a lot of stickers. That's just like a habit of mine. Mostly when texting like through WhatsApp, but that's something that is kind of ported over to Discord as well. So yeah. Oh, you said even in Discord, even if they don't know. Oh, so like just with the mic, you're using your hands, but just with yourself. Okay, okay. It's a masochist. I forgot about that part. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. To each their own, I suppose. Speak the way I do because of my own experience with tons of different people. Yeah, some people are like very sensitive to like tone. Others not so much. So yeah, I kind of take like a bit of a I err on the side of caution. So whenever I'm like talk about anything, especially if I'm being like lighthearted and I'm being a little jester, right? I use a lot of cat stickers. It's my way of conveying emotion through a very what's it called? A very monotone form of communication. Oh, also fun fact. The people who text using emojis, they do a lot better romantically in a study that I once saw a very long time ago. So, if you hate and dunk on them, they could be useful if that's what you're looking for. That's like because I'm single. You see, you're not using enough. You have to essentially make a wall of emojis, no text. They have to determine exactly what you mean through almost like hieroglyphics. I think that's how they're pronounced. Like the ancient Egyptians. They didn't have letters or words, they had pictures, and those pictures had meaning. So, yeah. I like how we've not done any art today. It's been like 40 minutes. Okay, let's make this jiggly. Average order stream. I mean, you're not wrong. This is a very yappy place. I mean, if you really think about it, if I just lock in and do art silently, I don't think stream would be a very entertaining thing to, watch. In fact, I don't even feel like how do you say this? There's like a lot of channels where the communication is very one way, right? Mostly you'll see this in like larger chats, but not always, right? It's just whatever's going on the screen, they like comment, but they don't maybe they really don't interact with like chat as much. Maybe they read it, they see like a few things here and there. I think mine's a bit different because mine is more just we hang out and we chat, and whatever goes on in the background, I don't know, is just there. And I think I like that system more because when I first started streaming, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do art, because when you start streaming, there's always the expectation of, hey, there's like no one gonna be here for like a while. So yeah, it was only after I think a few people trickled in. I think Sella was like the first yappy person who popped in and stuck around. And from there, I realized, I'm a little less interested in the art and more interested in like the yapping. Because I think if I just did art only, I don't think I would have liked streaming so much. Because it's, I'm just doing the exact same thing I would do off stream, just recorded. Those dedicated acolyte for real. Yeah, I would say so. With the That's a good way of phrasing it. With the amount of like supporting the channel, I would say you take like the number one spot because you helped me make the Discord. You work on shorts and all sorts of other content like that. Hey, you even made the sprites down here. Call me a bacon the way I'm. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I'll take that as a compliment. Sometimes talkative or just don't say much at all. It's like a mood wave thing when I stream stuff. Oh yeah, because like if you have energy and it's very easy to just like yap and stuff. I think there are a few days, I think especially early on, where I'd be streaming and then like 30 minutes later, my energy kind of just flatlines. I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Okay, see you guys later. End stream. You know, I don't think I'm not shy about like ending stream early because I'm thinking, okay, if I've hung around a little bit, got to see people, say hi, a little bit of a catch up and all of that stuff. That's all good. I've done my part. I've had fun, I've had my fill. I'm not the kind who if I'm not having a good time, I'll like force myself to continue. So yeah, I think it's a little bit healthy. I would say the one unhealthy thing I still have to work on is, how do you say this? Taking breaks, like days off, like the one I just did last stream. I think that's something I maybe need to work on a little more. Cause yeah, we all need a little bit of our rest. Oh hi, Frubles, welcome, welcome. But yeah, I think that's one bad habit I need to work on. I think from all the sound alerts, the riot time is one of my favorite. But yeah, I have been getting better at it. I did take a break last stream. It didn't show up. I did announce it, saying like, "Hey, it's not gonna happen." Right? And I was very tempted to be like, "Okay, I missed this one, so now I have to make up for it and do like another entire stream." So I was like, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna not yap. I'm gonna wait for my voice to fully recover and then come back. Am I sus? Can I not be nice? Yeah, don't call him out for being nice. He throws way too many bricks. He could be nicer to me. Ow. See what I mean? Okay, we've been here 45 minutes. I think this is about 5 minutes of work that I would have yeah. But we were talking about this earlier. I think like on the Discord. I show up to have fun. I show up to just yap and hang out with everyone. If I need to really lock in and be productive, I don't do that on stream. I do that in complete silence, just like, just staring at the screen, blank faced, doing the whole rigging. It's almost like a time lapse video. Oh, it's always fun to see the physics and the absolute maximum. It does break, it'll never get to this point, but always interesting to see. Shakata's being nice to K. Yeah, see that tracks. That's more on brand. But then again, every time he does try to hug you with the sprice thing down here, you do bomb him. So I can understand why he's a little suspicious. Okay, onto our favorite part, physics. And jiggle. I have a brand, I'm not even the streamer. I mean, brand is like personality, you know? I don't mean that in a legal sense. Like, for example, I'm not a hugger. A lot of my close friends know this. So if they randomly see me like hug someone, they would just like gasp, almost in horror. Is my personality brand? You would probably be able to tell us more than I can determine from here. Because I think I've only ever communicated with you through like text, like whether it's Discord or Twitch chat, and it's very hard to tell like a tone of voice. Sorry, like a tone in mannerisms. Because I think I've if you see the way I like type and text, it's probably very different from the way I am normally. Like if I go out in my human disguise, I'm very, what's a polite word for resting bitch face? Very stoic, very not very expressive. Okay, so the contrast is like really is very glaring for the people who have seen me both, you know. You'll be able to hear my rough awful voice soonish on this D&D meeting, you know. True. I think this weekend we won't be able to do session 0. So we'll have to come up with the date after that. So the VC the early ones though, we did not talk at all. Yeah, it was one of those like I think in the early days we had like a co-working, we actually have it there. I was doing a little bit of co-working, you know, just hangouts. So I was like you know, I realized if I have the energy to hang out in like a co-working place, I would probably just spend that energy streaming, to be honest. So I think that's why I didn't really use it too much. I can make a working right now VC. We do have that. Wait, let me double check. Mm, yeah, under creative stuff, we have art co-working space 1 and 2. And for TTRPG, we have VC 1 and 2. Yeah, I think like each category has like 2 channels. It's art co-working. Yeah, well, if you wanted to hang out and just chat, we still have the general lounge. That could work in a pinch too. I don't think we should have like a like what's it called? Like a channel for every single thing, because then they become a bit too many. And I actually sometimes struggle to find like the channel I'm looking for. I have to scroll up and down like twice just to find it. But yeah, if people are like wait, if you join like the voice channel, can you set like a title? I know you can do that for some of them. I don't know. I don't know how Discord works. Because if you can set like a title for like the voice channel when you enter, someone can just change it to like co-working and use that one. Oh, while I was on the Discord, I do see the Orty sheep outfit. Yeah, I could do that one. I'll basically just need to put like a ball of fluff on top of this model. Let me check art co-working VC. Hey. But yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. For those who don't see, Kay put it, Ordi is dense AF as the title. What have I ever done to you guys? I have been nothing but a delight. And unfortunately, the weather is getting warm. I don't like that. Warm is fine, hot is not fun. When I say warm, it's a polite way of saying it is hot and I'm slowly melting. Because I'm a tropical cat, okay? I have grown up in the heat, so I really don't like it. You say I was at Hector. I think that I'm not sure what the inside joke is there. TLDR for Ori Sheep wasn't there mentally. Oh, okay. I was saying, yeah, that one's pretty simple. I just need to put like a ball of fluff on top of my current model, and there. Heat is just never fun. Yeah. Oh, especially in British houses, they're designed to keep like heat in. So like they're prepared for like cold weather, right? They're not prepared for the heat, so it does get a bit excessive. But definitely not worth me spending an entire mascot on. But hey, if you just happen to have like a million order coin just laying around, yeah. I am tired. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't think I'm tired. I think maybe I'm just like a little bit unwell. Guess maybe when you're at the beach or at a pool. No, I don't like heat. Period. I went for a jog today this morning. It was like super cold out. I was just there in like my t-shirt and shorts. Amazing. Like the wind felt like it could give me hypothermia if I stopped. And that was perfect because I could like run for as long as I wanted and not feel warm and start sweating. Because I think like at the end of the day, the thing I like least about any form of like working out or exercise is I get hot and sweaty. I don't like that. So the fact that this place is like super cold to the point where I'm like jogging and running, like really exerting myself and still not sweating, I love it. It's like my favorite part. Best feature of this biome. Though that is every workout ever, just how I say. Yeah, exactly. I think that's like one of my limiting factors. Like if I feel it makes me feel, I think it's a sensory issue. It makes me feel like a bit icky, and I don't like that. By the way, already be prepared. I will soon take you to a little artsy work for your. Wait, what does that mean? Looking at my original song right now. Oh, do you mean you want like you want like art for it, or I don't understand. Oh, hi, Vani. Welcome, welcome. I thought I saw you streaming earlier. Was it a short thing? Or are you popping in to say hi? Yeah, we talked about it before. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds vaguely familiar. I may forget things. If I do, don't worry about it. Just remind me. Popping in to say hi. Well, hi. Nice seeing you. We're being very unproductive today. It's been about an hour. We've only made the head bobble and jiggle. I'll tell you all the details once the song is close to being finished. Ah, okay. Well, you know where to find me. Of course. You know, before I started streaming, I'm like, let me be productive, okay? I didn't do much work earlier today off stream, so while I'm here, might as well. Yeah, I don't think that's working out. But hey, a cat can dream. Besides, I get to show up. I get to talk to all of you guys. I have lots of fun. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's more important than art progress. Okay. For this one, the whole body is supposed to vanish. Body rest. Okay, so for this toggle, we essentially want this body to disappear and these two to appear. Am I the only one who actually uses the unload tab feature in the browser? I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that something for like it stops running stuff in the background? So, when you have like when you're trying to be frugal with your computing power, essentially. Like, is that what that feature is for? Okay, there we are. So the client wanted like this toggle so that they can take it like this and then like how do I show this? They want this and then they put like the model on top of their head. Or maybe on their shoulder or something like that. So yeah, that's what this feature is for. It's a feature that literally stops the tab from doing anything, disconnects the tab. Yeah, makes sense. It's a way of being very efficient with like processing power if you don't have a lot to spare. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like an app on your phone, like stop background activity or whatever. Very practical for my very low end machine. Yeah, I used to be like that before I'd play games. Just close everything. Control Alt Delete Task Manager. Anything that seemed not essential, I just shoot it in the head. You know. A horrible habit of multitasking. Oh, yeah. It'd be like that. Sorry, I'm eating cookies right now. You have 3 tabs open right now? Oh, okay. I'm very productive. And Discord. I did see what your I remember you were showing us the other day. What is it? A $20 CPU? I did not believe one existed. I doubted until I googled it for myself. I think this happened on stream. I'm like, there is no way it costs $20. Like, there is no way. Until I searched it, I realized, oh, it is real. Like, put it this way: I was at a computer store today, like the secondhand one. I saw entire laptops for like $30. So, oh, we have ads. Is there anyone who doesn't have ads? Out of curiosity, or am I speaking to myself? Is my voice piercing the veil? Can anyone hear me? Make your presence known. It's not meant for anything other than office work. Understandable. It's nice to see not everyone's in ad jail. At a pre-2010 PC, let me tell you, my first laptop that I ever got, I got in like, I think 2014. To this day, over 10 years later, no, it was 2013, something like that, right? To this day, it is still alive and kicking and capable of playing basic games. Like, I could run Valorant on it. So, yeah. It's like at the end of its life. I'm thinking of converting it into like a server or something. But then again, I do have like a small office desktop. Before I bought the gaming one, I used to use that one. I also have that one. I could turn that into a server. Maybe I'll just have like 10 computers and just like 10 different servers. Who knows? Because right now my old PC is just sitting in a suitcase. Like, so it doesn't take up space. I put it in a suitcase, put that suitcase in another suitcase, and then put both of them into one larger one. So yeah, it's like the little Russian doll. Hey, I have to be very efficient with space here. I don't have the biggest room. There is an attic, and I was told like, hey, I can use it, but I'm like, I've seen enough horror movies to know that I don't want to go anywhere near an attic, so the suitcase stays with me. It was my table for a while before I actually bought furniture. But yeah, that's why when I bought this PC, I went how would you say this? I invested. I took a good chunk of my money that I saved up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a really nice PC. Oh, ads are done. I was saying when I bought my gaming PC, I bought one and I was like, okay, this is probably a lot nicer than I would realistically need. But at the same time, like, if I do this, I won't have to upgrade it for maybe like 5 to 10 years. Assuming it survives. So yeah, that was my justification. And hey, fun fact, completely funded through art commissions. It took me a while. This is probably like years of saving. Because I'm a very frugal person. I was making like money from like art commissions and things. I just didn't have anything to spend it on, so I'll just like keep it. And then just one day I'm like, You know what? I'm done with my degree. I've finished moving. I'm gonna be here for a while. It is time. Time to unlock young Ordy's little childhood dream of owning a gaming PC, a computer that can run any game he wants and it not lagging. So, yeah, we did it, guys. At this point, like every game that I play, I never have to think about like the settings. I just download, install, play. Yeah, I was dreaming for that since I was like 12 years old. Very recently, many years after that, I finally achieved that dream. So yeah, because before with my old laptop, when I'd play games, I'd have to check the specs. I'd have to see mine, then be like, can it run? Can it not? Maybe get the game, see if it works. If it doesn't, then get a refund and then sulk about it. On a 16 core CPU for max music production. See, I'm not much of a computer guy. I don't know what a lot of the specs mean. At most, I think I understand like the graphics card, like just the numbering systems and like performance. Like that's basically it. Like if you give me the names of two of them, I'll look at the numbering and be like, okay, this one's nicer than that one. So yeah, that's about the extent of my knowledge. So what I did was I had my budget. I went to the computer store. I'm like, okay, this is what I have. What's the best this can get me? And I'm like plus or minus a little bit. It's not like it's not a hard budget, so to speak. So yeah, eventually they're like, yeah, we have this thing, we have that one. They didn't have like the graphics card that I needed. They're like, oh, we have one that's a little bit better and one that's a little bit worse, so you can like pick. So I picked a little bit better one because I'm like, no, I'm investing for the long run. I'm gonna keep this thing for like 10 years plus. DWs take up a lot of CPU. Just CPU everywhere else is pretty much irrelevant. Yeah, understandable. Hold on. I have a VTube Studio question. I need to check something. Hold on, I need an old model of mine. Let's use Moonies. Ta-da. Okay, I need to check the settings for something. Can I? Because I realized if I make this mistake, it'll create a lot of extra work for me. Because I want to try something. I want to make the model I'm working on. I want to set like a toggle where it stops like leaning, and I don't know if that affects blend shapes. But then again, I'm mostly yapping about live 2D things, so okay, promising. Because I just realized if I made that mistake, mm, that would set me back like an hour. Hold on. So goes to make enough money with music commissions to buy the CPU and everything else. I'll just push aside for now. Understandable. And hey, one day I'll start paying you for the clips you make. Okay, all good. Right, FL Studio, not something can learn within a year. What's FL Studio? Hold on, let me search this up. FL Studio. Create your best music. Oh, okay, so it's music software. So you can. It depends really. Like for example, when someone says, "Oh, you can learn this within like 3 months," the real question you should ask is it 3 months of everyday practice? Or is it 3 months of you chipping away at it a little bit on the weekends when you have free time? You know, like for example, live 2D rigging. The first couple of years, I think my progress was very very slow because I was like studying, right? So I could only ever work on it for like a couple hours on the weekends, you know? But if you like kind of condense that into it, you can condense that into like 3 months, what I did in like 2 years. Like 3 months of dedicated work compared to just 2 years of it casually being spread out. So yeah, that's another thing to consider. It's kind of like when people say like oh, this will be ready in like 3 days. Do they mean 3 days or 3 working days? You know, like for example, oh, a good example is five. If someone says, oh, this thing will be done in 5 days, do you expect it 5 days later, or do they mean 5 working days? Because 5 working days basically means a full week. So got to keep these things in mind. You have a question about music production? Hit me up. Exactly. Sela is our resident musician here, and very happy to help. We actually have like a lot of different artists in our little community here. So yeah, one thing that I really like is whenever someone mentions like, "Oh, I wanna try leaning into this thing," immediately people with the relevant skills they dive into help. And I really like that. He's really good at music. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Sela's very experienced with it. Whenever I have any audio or music related questions, I just ask. No experience, but have it down. Yeah, jack of all trades is a very, very useful skill to have. I mean, for example, I'm not the best artist and I'm not the best rigger, but I think I'm decently good if I'm tooting my own horn at both. So I always offer the package of art and rigging. So yeah, because a lot of times it's a bit tricky to like get an artist and then you have to find someone to rig it. For example, if they're not an artist who has like a rigging partner, right? Because I know a lot of them are like, hey, I like do the art and I totally recommend this person rig it because like I've worked with them before. A lot of maybe newer artists tend not to have that. I know this from experience because I wanted to learn rigging, not art, but then I couldn't find anyone who was interested in kind of doing like a little bit of a partnership thing. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just teach myself, and here we are. Also, a lot of people claim to do like live 2D art, but they've never rigged before. So they don't actually know how to make live 2D art. So yeah, whenever someone's like, "Hey, I have the art prepared," I need to see the PSD file and examine it way, way, way before I accept any commission. Because they'll be like, "Hey, this thing is cut up and ready to rig." I'm like, "Okay, 50% off," because I'm not doing the art. Once I get the PSD file, it's basically a PNG that someone just cut with like not prepared for rigging. Like for example, you'll see this ear. Like, this is a teaching moment in case of any aspiring VTubers. So right, imagine like the ears here, right? This thing is separated properly because you see it's like a full ear. You know, it moves around. What they do is they probably just cut like this. You know, if that makes sense. So yeah, always be careful if you're getting like VTuber art. I sometimes feel a bit bad because before I'd sometimes get like PSDs for like models, but they weren't like cut up properly. I felt kind of bad when I like pointed it out because they were like very surprised. Because again, they're not artists and they wouldn't know. So I felt kind of bad, so I fixed it for free. So I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's not too bad. But yeah. I don't think I could do that these days because before it was more of like a monetized hobby. Now it's kind of like my full-time thing. So yeah, I gotta be a bit more business oriented. Oh, for our little D&D one shot, I did make on the Discord under find a game just to keep things organized. I think it's called Orticult one shot. So yeah, if anyone's interested, that's the place to be. We have our session 0 soon. We just gotta figure out on like a date. I need to be a bit more business oriented. Also, already giving away stuff at every opportunity. I mean, yeah. Okay, put it this way. A lot of the times, people are just like aspiring creators, right? Maybe they probably usually on the younger side, right? Just starting out, they need the things, and maybe they don't have much in the way of funds, right? But they have a passion, they have a dream. I feel kind of bad being the one to like tell them, hey, you kind of can't afford this. So yeah, I feel like I undercharge like a lot, you know, and even in some cases, whenever someone like wants something and maybe they don't like have their budget listed is like way lower than what their model entails. But they seem like super nice and friendly. I feel I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. It's fine. I need to stop giving away things for free. Okay, you know, I only have that problem when it's like art and stream related, right? I think once I step into the corpo world, I have no issue with that because I have been looking for like a. I've been looking for a job lately. I like doing art full time, but I'd rather not. It's a it's a fun hobby that funds a lot of my side projects, but I don't think I want to do it full time. It's a bit too inconsistent for me. So yeah, I've been looking for a job lately. That's why I was wearing. I mentioned I was wearing a suit the other day. Yeah, I got like a couple callbacks, and they're like, yeah, we loved your stuff. This is our offer. I thought about it. I looked at the terms. I'm like, um, I would like something better. I would like this is this. They could not afford me. I was like, all right, well, I hope you find a candidate that's more fitted towards your role. Blah blah blah. Very corpo speak. Declined the thing. Hung up. I have no problem in the corpo world, but I feel bad. Once I step into like the creative world, so to speak. Well, not like I'm better. I've been working for free since mid last. Don't worry about it. This is I would say unpaid internship, but I don't plan on keeping it unpaid for long. Because you know what you've done? You've basically saved me the trouble of looking to find like an editor or something. Because I'm like, okay, you're making the content because you like it and you seem to be passionate about it. The only thing missing is pay. So, I'll do that. Okay, right now, I don't think like the content is very monetized like on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. So yeah, that is the tricky part. I think the system I'll have is pay for like a few of the clips until like the monetization thing like on YouTube like fully takes off. And then once it's like it makes about the same as what I'd be paying you, then you just like have, you know, you can just like have all of that. Cause yeah. I think I didn't even create an official clips channel. I wanted you to run it. I was like, okay, you can run it. You can make like the clips and everything. This is 100% belonging to you. So once it's monetized, you keep 100% of everything. So yeah, I think that's fair. I don't want to be like I get funded through art and commissions. I don't really need to monetize Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, I'm willing to take anything that is made through YouTube and Twitch and just put it back into stream. For example, emotes. I've been neglecting them. At this point, I might just pay someone to do it. I have been chipping away at them. I've been making them like one at a time. Ooh, I did update the middle finger one. Here it is. The middle finger is now twice as big, which is I realize because it's like far away, it may not be obvious what it is. So I'm like, yeah, it needs to be bigger. Ow. Throw bricks at me. You know what that gets you? One of these. Hands down, my favorite toggle. I don't know why it's funny. I think because my model is just very like small, cutesy chihuahua size. And then it tries to be like threatening. Yeah, I think that's just hilarious. But that's just my opinion. Oh, I have the old version then? You're right. Let me send you the new one. You can play spot the difference. And it'll just be like, oh, the hand is slightly bigger. Okay, if you've already used it, there is no point in changing it. But if you want to keep it, or if you want like the new one, here it is. Let me send it in mod chat. There we go. It's literally the exact same image, just I made the hand larger. That's it. I literally just drew around it, cut it out, scaled it up, and called it a day. Gotta be careful not to delete the old version considering I want to keep both. Yeah, I don't think I even have the old version anymore. I saved over it, so yeah. Something to consider. They got the same file name. Yeah, you could download it and just change the name to whatever. So it's V2 after the name. Understandable. I'm feeling a bit of my voice strain come back. But it's a lot better than last time, so, that's progress. I think I figured out what it is, why it's a recent problem. I think it's the weather because the air here is very dry. Like when it's cold, it doesn't have as much moisture as I'm used to. So yeah, I do notice my mouth and throat get dry like a lot faster. So it's not humid. It is only when it's hot, but when it's like cold, not really. Drink more water. Oh yeah, literally you'll notice every time my model does this, like you see it looks this way and tilts. I'm taking a sip of water. Mm. Yeah, that's what I do. I drink very small sips, not to be hydrated, because I already am anymore, and I'll just go to the bathroom all the time. I drink small sips just to like keep things moist, you know? On dry air sometimes, yeah. It has its pros and cons. I mean, since being here, I've invested more into moisturizer and even lip balm as well. So yeah, my mouth just tastes like watermelon. So that's bouncy. Thank you. What's this cat doing? Hi, Wally. He's been a bit rambunctious lately. Can I get a taste? No. Actually, can I have more permission? Can I have 7TV? No, those ones I'll keep them. I feel like I only put very specific ones. I kind of curated quite a bit, you know? I don't want to give untethered access, you know? Though, like for example, like sound alerts, the 7TV permission stuff. I only pick things that cannot be abused, really. So yeah, it's just me erring on the side of caution. I don't think anyone here would ever like create a problem with it, but I worry in the future, like we'll have something that'll just sit there for like many months, and then just randomly one day one guy finds it and decides like, hey, I can just destroy everything with this. Like for example, that's why you notice I don't have like any jump scare. Since I don't have any jump scare like sound alerts or anything like annoying, so to speak, right? The disruptive ones cost money, so that one I'm willing to be bothered in exchange for cash. But anything else, no, it's non-disruptive because like one person can like take it and just like mass spam the thing, and then yeah, it gets a bit bothersome. Like for example, if like yeah, now imagine like the metal pipe falling sound that is very popular amongst like I don't know Zoomers for some reason. Now imagine you have like that sound effect, and then like one guy shows up with like 10,000 points, and maybe it costs like 100 to play, and then they just like spam it the entire time. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I want that one. Yeah, we're not getting that one. Besides, on sound alerts, like our slots are mostly filled up, so I think I would add things that add like a lot of value rather than random ones. So yeah, or ones that I think are funny. So there's that. Sorry, I just hear noises. I think it's Wally. Yeah, you guys would be too interested in that one. So I'm like, no. Or I said it and I charge money for it so it doesn't get abused. I feel bad though, so no. The thing I really don't like on sound alerts is the one for channel points, right? The free ones. I can only put like 10 of them maximum. But like normally there's like 30 slots, so yeah. We don't love a good watermelon. It's not a skill issue. It's an issue with like sound alerts. Oh, it's not an issue. I guess that's just the way they are. But yeah, my plan was everything that you can redeem with bits, they would be like the exact same thing for free with Ordicoin. But yeah, it wasn't possible for all of them. So I just picked the ones which I thought probably be most popular, or the ones that I liked, to be honest. And I was like, yep, these 10, these ones are free. So, yep, that's what you guys get. Realistically, if I wanted more, there is the other software. If you see it at the center of the screen, that's not sound alerts. That's, I think, trigger fire, right? The ones at like the top left corner, those is the sound alert. Trigger fire, I don't think has a limit. So if I ever need more GIFs and sound alerts, I can just play it there. So no metal pipe. No, not for a long time. Can you have the Megamind meme as a 7TV emote? Okay. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Mm, you know, I have actually I've cleared out a lot of stuff in my to-do list. Maybe it needs to be more. Okay. Megamind 7TV emote. There we go. You can suggest things and then I can add them. But yeah, I don't think I'll give like anyone access to that. It'll just be me and my awful sense of humor that decides. My sense of humor and pictures of cats. Wally's meowing at me. He wants to leave the room. He's getting a bit too adventurous. I don't like that. Yeah, literally earlier today, I took him down to the living room and I let him roam around for like an hour. I was just sitting there on my phone. He would not stop. He was running and jumping on everything. He nearly knocked over my housemate's plants and all that stuff. But yeah, after that full hour, I'm like, okay, he's had his fill. He's tired himself out. I brought him back to my room. 5 minutes later, what is he doing? He's pawing at the door. He wants to go. He wants to go back out. I'd let them roam the house like freely, but Wally cannot be trusted. He escapes every chance he gets and he runs into the neighbor's yard and he hides there. And then I have to go and fish him from the bushes. So no, he's only allowed in my room, or if I open my door, I have like a very long leash. I attach it to his collar so he can kind of roam the house a little bit, but he can't actually leave. Yeah, he's an indoor cat. The reason he's an indoor cat is because if he dies, I'm gonna have to tell my friend that, hey, you know your cat that I was supposed to be looking after? Yeah, he's gone now. And I can't do that to her, so I'm gonna be a very overprotective cat parent. To be fair, if he was like, how do you say this? If he was well behaved, right? And not an idiot, I would be fine letting him out. But do you know what he does? He fights to go outside, and then once he actually gets there, he doesn't know what to do, and then he panics and freaks out, and then he runs and hides. And then he doesn't come home. So, yeah. Now, Julian has gotten out before, right? She entered my housemate's room and climbed out of their window. And do you know what she did? She went out for a little stroll and then she came right back in. Do you know what Wally does when he gets out? He gets out, he runs, and he just doesn't come back. And when I go after him and he sees me, he runs and hides from me. So yeah, he cannot be trusted outside. Julian, on the other hand, I'll be okay with it. I kind of don't like it too much because outside is dirty and she sleeps in my bed a lot. So yeah. Also, she's not too keen on going out. Like she'll literally exit the house, look around a little bit, go back inside. Completely uninterested. Yeah, that'll not be a fun conversation. Yeah, and this friend has like bad luck, like cosmic joke level awful tragedy around them. So yeah, I'm thinking this cat is like one of the last this cat is like one of the last good things they have in their life. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take him and I'm gonna make sure that he is all good no matter what, right? That's literally why I took him. That's why I took him to with me when I came to the UK. By the way, shipping cats is expensive as hell. But yeah, but this is like one of my best friends, like childhood best friends. So I'm like, nah, this person is like family. And therefore, this cat, which is like her son, is technically my nephew. So I'm gonna take care of him. Cause before what she'd do is she'd get like people to look after him, like friends over there. And then oh, that friend moves, or maybe they're like a student and they graduated, they're moving away, you know. Then now someone else has to take care of them. It's a huge hassle and it adds a lot to her plate because sometimes she just can't find someone to like take care of him. So I'm like, you know what, this is no longer gonna be stress in your life. I'm gonna take him. He's basically my cat until the day comes when you're like completely settled and ready to take him back in. It's like, yeah, then you can have him back. Until then, for all intents and purposes, he is my cat. Or even his cats escape again. Honestly, it's not even sad. I just sigh in disappointment, like, ah, not this shit again, you know? But I did learn like all of his little escape routes, like all of Wally's escape routes. And I made sure like he can go through them. So, oh, oops. So yeah, he's pretty secure. He hasn't gotten out since the last time. Because, for example, the one time I let him out and I'm like, okay, he's out, he'll be back, he's a cat, right? Uh, he left, I think at like 7 a.m. I only found him at like 9 p.m. Like that day, I literally canceled stream just to go look for the cat. So yeah, that one time I'm like, hey, I can't stream, and then I rescheduled it to the next day. Yeah, that was why he was the reason. I'm not like too worried. Like, oh, he's gone. What if he's like, eaten by wildlife or something? It's not like that. It was just like I know he's nearby. I know he's hiding in a bush. I just don't know which one it is, and it feels kind of odd going around to people's houses and asking to dig around like their property because so far no problem here and everyone's been like super friendly and nice, but I come from like a country with a really high crime rate. So whenever like strangers are around where they're not supposed to be, like on private property, it is very, very suspicious. So I think I still have like that at the back of my mind, like, oh, I don't want to come off as shady, right? So yeah, even if like the cat is on like the lawn, like I can see him and I just need to take a few steps onto their property to like collect him. I still go, I ring the doorbell. I'm like, hey, can I get my cat? He's like over there. So yeah, maybe it's a bit on the erring on the side of caution, but hey, I'd rather do that than cause problems. But so far, everyone's been like super nice. I think this is the reason I actually know some of my neighbors. Because I had to go like rescue Wally from their garden, and in one case, I had to get him from like the same garden like 3 times to the point where I knock on the door. I'm like, "Hi, me again. Sorry, Wally's over there." Already creating the perfect cat prison. To be honest, it's not that hard. The only downside is I don't live alone. And there are other cats here in this house and they're allowed to go in and out. So my trouble is how do I keep my cats in and out inside without restricting the movement of the other house cats? Does that make sense? Don't come off as shady. Gray alien. Yeah, I posted a picture of me like carrying Wally back in, but I blurred myself out. It's just like a gray silhouette. He's a little goofy guy. Unfortunately, it just gets a bit bothersome. I think before what my friend would do is whenever he wanted to go out, he'd like meow and scratch at the door and just be annoying, and then she'd just get up, open the door, and let him out. Now, he has learned that if he wants something, he just makes noise and becomes bothersome, and he'll get what he wants. So yeah, at like 2, 3 a.m., he's meowing at my door, scratching at it because he wants to go outside. And I'm thinking, okay, I can ignore him and he'll get the message. No, he didn't. I think my friend caved in too many times, and then he learned, yeah, he can get what he wants if he's just annoying. So that's a shame. I have been teaching him to respond to like cat calls, make like kissy noises. Because each time I give him like treats, like tuna and stuff, I always make like kissy noises. That way, every time he hears that noise, he immediately thinks, oh, there's a treat and comes running to me. The OD alien remind me of the pet and plant channel and remind me of the cat I got to name. I love you, void of the 18 moons, destroy worlds. I always love silly cat names like that because they will never know what their name is. The only people who would appreciate it is probably like the vet when you take them. Best cat for real? False. My cat is the best cat ever. You cannot convince me otherwise. This baby, all she does is she comes, she cuddles with me, she watches birds, and she sleeps. Right? She's not like Wally, who's like rambunctious and causing mischief. She's very well behaved. What on earth happened here? Hmm. Odd. Anyway, I'm trying to sure how vote of the 18 movies show. Yeah, I think they were interested in they were interested in D&D. They joined the one shot little channel thing. So yeah. False, my fattest cat of my cousin is the best, maybe. Nope, mine is. Anything else? Blasphemy. Get timed out here. I don't want to hear it. Who doesn't love a bit of squish? Yeah. I love Terrace, the other cat. I love fat cats, Ryan. But I know it's not healthy for them to be that way. So yeah, you got to make sure your cat is healthy, you know? Because if they're like a good weight, they remain healthy. You don't need to take them to the vet. And honestly, they'll live a healthier life, right? So while it is cute and you'd be like, there's more of them to love and all that stuff, um, for their health, put them on a diet if they're chunky. So already the backstory of Terrace the cat has attacked my backpack on multiple occasions, biting it, scratching it, doesn't only to fall asleep, trapping my laptop inside. Ah, okay. I understand. That probably means the cat likes you because your backpack smells like you. Because that's how Julian is. Like whenever my brother or I would like put down our backpacks after like a day at university or something, all of the cats immediately would like go and rub against it. I mean, you could just move the cat, take the stuff, but again, that feels kind of mean. I don't like bothering them. Does it like a chonka, but it's only fair to have daily regulation? Oh yeah, so long as they're healthy. Like for example, my cats they eat when they're hungry and only eat their fill. They don't overdo it. So I have a it's called an open bowl policy, right? I think that's what my housemate called it. It's just like the bowl has food, and if they want, they can just go there and eat it, no problem. And they're not fat. They've been doing this for like years. Some other cats, they just see food and they inhale it all, whether they're full or not, and then they gain weight. So yeah, it really depends on your cat. If your cat can't control themselves, then yeah, you're gonna have to regulate their stuff. You know, like each day they get exactly this much. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't have that problem with my cats. They're sweet little guys. Even Wally. I'm scratching him right now. And he tried clawing at me. Never mind. I take back what I said. Chris loves to be cradled. I think when he's like attacking your stuff, he's just very overstimulated. So yeah. I'll give you all as an example. If you just randomly pet him, there's like a 50% chance he'll try biting you, or a 50% chance that he'll immediately start purring like a jet engine and rubbing against you. I don't know what triggers each mood, but right now it just feels like RNG, you know? Cats are weird creatures. I don't know if you can tell. And there's real people like me who've been taught since young to clean your plate because of some kind of horror story. Oh, I'm like that with my food, but my cats are not. Yeah, I'm the kind who I'd always finish like what I put on my plate. The only exceptions is when my mom puts food on my plate, cuz I don't think she understands how portions work. She'd put like two servings worth of food like on my plate, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay like when someone is younger and growing, but you know, I as adult now, if I eat like that, I gain weight very quickly. And she refuses to believe that. So yeah, mealtime was a struggle. Then my younger brother moved back in, and she started doing that to him. Immediately, his weight just like skyrocketed, and he's like, "Huh, I wonder why." But yeah, that's why a lot of people they're like, "Oh, for like health tips and stuff, make sure don't just for example, if you're lazy like me, and you cook like a large pot of food, right? I sometimes just eat out of like the large pot so that I don't dirty like other plates because I don't want to wash them. Uh, Unfortunately, when people do things like that, they end up eating more than they need, and yeah. So if you want like a if you're interested in eating like less, or maybe you're watching your weight or something, putting it like on a plate is always like the way to go, you know? And keeping the portion a bit small and be like, okay, if I'm still hungry, I'll put more. So yeah. So he's a chonka. My younger brother, yeah. For me, it took my best efforts to not gain weight there. Mealtime was a fight. Uh, because my mom's a really nice but sometimes funny lady, right? Let me tell you a story. One time, uh, I was just in my room. I forgot what I was doing. It was a long time ago. What I was doing, not important. I was just minding my own business, and she comes in and she asks, "It's like, oh, I'm cutting up some fruit for like your brother. Do you want some?" I'm like, "Oh no, thank you." She's like, "Really? Just a little bit? Have some?" I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm really full. We just had lunch, right?" She insisted. I kept saying no. And she's like, okay, fine. She leaves. 5 minutes later, she comes back with a plate of like cut up fruit and gives it to me. And I'm like, I said I didn't want, no, thank you. She's like, no, you're gonna eat it. I'm like, okay, fine. I took it and I asked her, if you're just gonna bring it anyway, why bother ask if I wanted some to begin with? She, without missing a beat, just looks at me. Is like, I just wanted you to feel like you had a choice in the matter. So yeah, that's how my mom is. Ow. Hi, Melta. Oh, last stream we had, literally we ended the stream and then Melta raided in. He raided into like the offline chat. I think like he was raiding in and then we like ended. So yeah, that was a bummer. So sorry about that. She's like my mom's friend. Yeah, she's like those sweet moms that no matter how like old their child gets, they will always be like a baby in their eyes, incapable of like doing anything. Which it's a nice problem to have, I'll say. There are a lot of people who don't have nice parents. I say I have wonderful ones. So yeah, this is just one of like their funny quirks that could be worked on. But hey, I don't think I'm complaining too much. Gotta get you 10K. Give it time. They throw bricks. Yeah, I think we jump by like 1 or 2K bricks each stream. No, sorry, that's too much. A few hundred at least. So she's essentially saying, you got no choice. Yeah, you need to understand, like, from my mom's perspective, I'm basically a baby who only knows how to eat crayons. So if she doesn't do things for me, she feels I'm not capable of doing. Like, if you ask her logically, she'd be like, yeah, of course, he's a big boy. He can take care of himself. But when it comes down to it, like, her instinctive thoughts, it's always like oh, I have to do this for him, otherwise like he would know how to do it, like he wouldn't understand. Like I was making like a heated blanket for my cats for winter, and I was telling my parents this, right, just conversation. uh the next day she called me. She's like, yeah, I was trying to sleep last night. It was like 1 a.m. and I just remembered, oh, Odie has moved to the UK. He doesn't understand that the houses there are basically made of like paper and cardboard. They're very flammable, so he should be very careful with like the electronics and not burn down the house. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I've like mentioned. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I do have a technical background. I did a course in like safety and all of that stuff. It's all good, but to my mom, it's like a child playing with a fork, sticking it into a socket, which it's kind of like adorable to think about. But they planned out my and my mom's life for the next 20 years. Oh yeah, I guess just her idea of a child of her own is always there. Wait, sorry, let me reread that. Yeah, yeah, it's a very nice thing. She's like she's used to being a protective and nurturing mom and doesn't know how to turn that off or dial it down a little bit, which is I find it amusing. It's not a problem. So did 5 minutes of work till right now in 2 hours. Okay, this is not 5 minutes of work. Okay, this is 15 minutes at least. Oh, but Maya has a lot of like funny quirks like that. She's someone who she's a very anxious person, but she doesn't believe like anxiety exists. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Because like any anxious or intrusive thoughts, she thinks of it as like common sense, and if no one takes it seriously, we are just being dumb, you know. Like I mentioned, she's like, oh, at 1 a.m. Ori might burn down his house because he doesn't understand that the walls are no longer made of concrete. That's not a very rational thing to think about, especially at like 1 a.m. So yeah, she's a bit funny that way. So she always she can never sleep, and I tell her it's because of like anxiety and stuff. She's like, no, I'm not anxious. And then literally 5 minutes later, she tells me the story of oh yeah, I was thinking about how you might burn down the house randomly. So yeah, TLDR. That's basically how she is. It's a, yeah. When you break it down to its core components, it is simply because she cares, right? That's being realistic, not anxious. First of all, I was thinking, do I just bring up my qualifications, just like show you my degree, all of like the coursework and stuff? But I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Mm. I think like someone had called for like they're calling me back for another job interview and they wanted to know more a bit about my technical background. So I was like explaining like a lot of the projects I worked on and stuff, and I was really looking back at it. I was like, damn, this is amazing. If the people if the little people here on Twitch could see the creations that I have made, I don't think anyone would call me dense. Actually, that's not true. I think you guys still would anyway. But it was an amusing thought that popped into my mind. You know, maybe one day I will. I'll show you guys the stuff that I've made. 100% would. Yeah, because I needed toys for my cats. I literally just built little autonomous robots to kind of swarm around the apartments, and so my cats have something to chase after. I call it impressive. It's hard to learn this kind of art. Oh yeah, like Live 3D is a bit technical. You need to like if you're doing maybe something more advanced, you need to really understand in depth how like things work. Otherwise, you know, it's you'll end up doing like a lot of stuff only to go to rig it and realize, oh, it breaks when you try put it together. When we rig when we rig the full body model that I've been working on like this past while, you guys will see. Um, I think it's probably one of the most complex models that I've worked on. So yeah, I think I'll do the art off stream, and once everything is like set and finalized, maybe I'll rig it here. No promises though, but maybe we'll see. I feel like going to a lot of interviews recently has made me realize how much I code switch. Whenever I step into like the corpo world, immediately silly cat just disappears. I become very stoic, very quiet, very reserved, very professional, right? You probably if it was not the voice, you probably would not recognize me. And then I come back here and I be a silly cat on the internet. I think it's very funny. I'd say the way I am here on stream is probably a lot closer to my human disguise IRL personality. When it comes to corporate stuff, I become a corporate drone, you know? I put on the suit, I put on the Wolf of Wall Street mask, you know? uh I realized this because I had like a few interviews, and whenever anyone would ask me anything, like I would describe like the most basic things as if I was like the second coming of Christ. uh Really, really show off how great I am, you know, like someone I think they recently I got another offer, and I was reading through the terms. This one seemed okay, and I was reading through the stuff. They asked like if it's okay, if I had any questions. Like, hey, I'm reading through this thing, and I'm like the perfect man for the job. This thing was exactly what I was doing. At first, I was concerned about learning how to do this, but yeah, just gonna come in here and it'll be a breeze. So yeah, I I I maybe tone up the cockiness like a bit too much, but hey, it seems to work because like immediately people seem kind of blown away. Double life. Yeah. You may not even like if you knew my human disguise normally and then you see me like out in the corporate world, you probably wouldn't recognize like straight up. I was in a meeting when I was working at my old place, and literally my boss hopped into the meeting to, you know, join in. It's a video call, right? And for a while, he could not find me. He did not know who I was, right? He thought I was one of the people who came in with like the clients, because I'm just there with just normal, you know, just normal attire, goofy guy. And then as soon as like we had like the meeting with the clients, I walk in with like a full suit. I have a gelled back hair. I'm wearing glasses. I don't need glasses. These ones are just, what's the word? Decorative, Ryan. So I basically look like full on investor mode, Ryan. They're not fake glasses. They're just glasses that don't have like a number. They're designed for like fashion. I think these are like blue light ones. But yeah, I'm back and I will leave again. Well, thanks for stopping by. Boost charisma. Yeah, I okay, to me, whenever I need to do anything like this, yeah, whenever I need to do anything like this, I basically role play corpo ordi, you know? I become a very different person, right? Cuz you know, it's a workplace, you got to be professional and stuff. I think like I would do that a bit more and more at my old workplace, and yeah, when I started to realize it was not a nice place, uh I started to shift my relationship to my bosses from personal to purely professional. And they saw that as me being cold, and that's mostly because, again, they have admitted that they've never worked like a corpo job before they started the company, so they don't actually know how to do things a lot. And I didn't realize this until towards the end when they like said this, and then it finally made sense. I had long complained to like my friends for the longest time, right? Whenever things are done in the company, it feels less like a company and more like people doing a group project, like at school. And it finally made sense because that is like that is probably like the most experience they had. So I was like, ah. So yeah, not to bash on them too much, but it made a lot of sense towards the end. Oh yeah, speaking of which, one of the places I had applied to, they called me back, they were happy with me, they wanted to give me like the job and stuff, and then they were explaining like the terms. And then I started to see a lot of like the same red flags as I saw like in my old company. Ooh, this is a new one that I saw. Listen up. If anyone is like very is, you know, maybe a bit on the younger side, starting out work or finishing uni, whatever, doesn't matter. Or maybe you've been working for like 10 years and just never noticed this. When a company is trying to hire you and you're not legally classified as their employee, that is a major red flag. I think the most common one is internships. So they're like, hey, they'll basically give you the full-time job, but in a legal sense, you're only an intern. The reason they do things like that is so that they don't have to legally comply with like employee benefits and stuff like that. Like for example, minimum wage. Minimum wage applies to anyone who is a full-time employee. So what a lot of companies do is when they want to like be shitty and not pay people, is they're like, oh, they're not an employee, they're a contractor. They're not an employee, they're an intern. Or in the case of this last place that I went to, they're like, oh, you're legally self-employed working on a contract basis for us. Immediately they said that, I was thinking to myself, hell no, I'm not taking this. So yeah, I asked for a bit of like their terms in their documents, like okay, employment contract, even if it's not the contract itself, just like what I'm going to be doing, what's going to be needed, like how the payment structure works. They straight up refuse to give that. They're like, oh, we only give that to the people who they've come for the training. They're already like there, and I'm like, that sounds very shady. I turned it down. So yeah, you gotta be careful. They seemed very excited, like the way they were like telling me. The lady on the phone was like, she was acting like I won the lottery when they decided to hire me. If they're too shady, I'm always gone. To be honest, if I was unemployed and desperate, I would have taken it and still continue to like search for other jobs. Yeah, because this one was like sales representative for like other companies. I think they're like middlemen, right? So basically go door to door and get people to sign up for stuff. And like the more people that sign up, you get like this much. They're like, yeah, you can get, if you get like 2 signups a day for like a week, you make like a good chunk of money. I was like, okay, if everything works, that's fine. But the thing is, there's no guarantee. And I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I can't corpo. I myself, as a person, can't handle corpo attitudes. To be honest, you just gotta play the part. It's just acting. Play D&D. You'll learn to roleplay. Just roleplay businessmen because literally everyone else is. That's not how they are. You'll see them in the office and you'll see them like out shopping. They're two very different people. But yeah, they seem to be like they seem to give a lot of promises like, oh yeah, average your earning is like what is it? They're like minimum £400 like a week, which is decent money, right? But I'm like, but if you don't get any signups, you basically go home empty-handed. Usually in sales, what is a good healthy structure is this is your pay and you have a commission on top of that if you sell stuff. That is the way to go. But anything that's like 100% commission based, that's a bit of a red flag. Take it if you have like nothing else going on. And then while you're doing that, you're getting some money while you look for another job. That's okay. I have the art thing, so I am set. That's why I was very comfortable turning it down. I was like, I'd have to move, and then this thing is like I would break even doing this, and I'm like, I already do that doing art, so nah. Besides, this is a lot more fun, and I work better hours. So yeah, a little bit of corpo wisdom from a cat who has just started his career. These are just red flags that I've noticed early on. Give it 10 years. I'll have all the wisdom in the world. Hopefully, fingers crossed. How do you find those red flags? Mostly experience. So, must have been a lot on your mind when you went through those. Honestly, it's just listening to say like, is this place good or not? I think a lot of I think a lot of the time people are like, oh, I need to get hired and I'll take whatever comes my way, right? So a lot of the time, what that results in is, people not getting paid what they're worth or taking like a job that isn't that good. And honestly, I can understand. People have bills to pay, and sometimes you honestly can't afford to wait. You can't afford to wait to get something better, right? I think you'll actually see this in with maybe like a lot of newer artists. Um a lot undercharge, and sometimes you could there's two sides of this argument, right? There's some people who are saying like all artists should charge like their worth and not undercharge. That way art is more valuable and everyone like gains something. But at the same time, if everyone does that, mm, how would I word this properly? Like, for example, if I'm a new artist, right, and I start undercharging, I'm working really hard for like very little pay. But if I start pricing my things appropriately and I don't have like a good portfolio, people are not going to buy my stuff. They're going to go to people who have like a bit more reputation, a bit more previous work and reviews and stuff. So a lot of work and little pay is better than no work and no pay. There's a lot of arguments like back and forth because it's a very touchy subject, and I don't think there's any right answers. There's only the answer that's like right for you. For example, you want to know about red flags? I would say one thing you can do is just search online. What are red flags in a workplace? And you'll get like a good chunk of knowledge. so that when you're out in the wild and someone says something completely normal, you'll be like, wait, I've heard of this before, right? And then your mind will clock it like, oh, I've seen this before, is this a red flag? And then you can, that's when you start to pay attention and be like, okay, is this actually bad, or is it just like, okay, but yeah, I was mostly just thinking of like, this is how much I make doing art, this is how much I'll make doing here, and if I move here my expenses are this. I was doing like the math. So yeah, I realized, I if I took it, I would not be making any more money, but I'd be doing a lot more work. So I was like, no, thank you. There are tons of artists. I'm like, yeah, it seems reasonable because I look at their art and art is like a price point. Yeah, for example, you can find a lot of artists who do like really good work for like really low pay, which means when someone does like the same quality work but with normal pay, sometimes people will look at it and go like, oh, that's too expensive, I'm gonna go to someone cheaper, you know so that's kind of like the trouble. I did watch like a video on it, I think like a long while back. That and like my personal experiences. But honestly, if you're a new artist, right, um my advice, build your portfolio, right? If you undercharge, sure, get a bit of a get, if you're on something like VGen, right? Get reviews, get past clients, and then just slowly over time increase your prices until they're where you want it to be comfortable. It's the way to go. But honestly, I think maybe a bit of a hot take, but I don't think. Yeah, how do I say this without being cancelled? No, it's fine. I can say this. I'm an artist. Being an artist is probably not the best financial route to take if your interest is money. If, for example, you can't do anything else, like maybe you're unemployed, can't find work, or maybe you have like certain conditions and you can only stay home and do art from there, that I can understand. Not talking about that. I'm talking about like you've just finished high school and you're thinking about like what college to go to, what university, assuming like you can go there comfortably, maybe it's paid for, maybe you can have a scholarship, or maybe you can get loans or whatever, right? And you decide like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be an artist instead. I don't think that's a good thing to do, because I would say the only people who kind of make it as an artist are like a very small percentage at the top. The rest kind of just live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, being an artist is not profitable for most people. Exactly. And if you do it for the money, it kind of shows, and that makes people shy away. Because to be honest, like if you want to be profitable doing art, you already have to know how to do it. Like, you kind of already need to know how to do art. Like, for example, people who start getting like paid for commissions have probably been doing art for like many years. So if like I want to learn to do art now, get good at it, and then get paid for it, I don't think that's like the route to go. It's okay if you just want to like vibe and live. Maybe you don't like. Maybe you're being taken care of or something like that. Like you're not like the breadwinner. It's like a monetized hobby, right? Perfectly fine. But if you're like, hey, I want to be like super independent and like completely okay, I don't think it's the way to go. Yeah, that's my hot take. Which is why this is the way to go, Brian. My advice: get a degree, or you don't even need a degree. Get like qualifications and a job doing something else, and then like art and your hobbies. Keep it on the side. You know, keep it for a rainy day. For example, I was doing live study commissions and stuff just like for fun and for like extra pocket money. It was only after I what's it called? It was only after I moved, I'm like, okay, I don't have a job now, so let me just lean heavily into the art thing. I think that's okay. Ow. Hi, Feather. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying my best. Mm, I've yet to meet a musician making actual profit playing live. Yeah, I think music is similar as well. Yeah, we talk about jobs, art, and money. So yeah, I was talking about my experiences recently with job interviews and like the red flags that I saw. But I think I'm doing like decently well as a little cat on the internet doing art. I'm not making the big bucks, but hey, I'm living comfortably for now. So yeah, no complaints from me to be honest. To work in music, too many costs. Yeah, digital artists at least. Your cost is just like your initial equipment. Mm, music, I guess it depends. Live music, yeah, there are costs. You have to move around and pay for stuff. Yeah, as long as you're comfy, can be out hunting the big richness and stuff. I just wanna coast along. True, it's a good way to live. To be honest, I am willing to be adopted by some rich noble. I want to be the live-in artist, you know. They give me food, room, and board, right? And I just draw whatever they want. Like the good old days, you know. I am willing to be a sugar baby. I'm not ashamed about them. There is nothing to be ashamed about that. You just give me money for existing. I'd take that deal. You have to maintain that stuff constantly. Oh yeah, the equipment. It does wear out, I guess. I made a song for my game that I stopped working on. Ah, at least you have the song if you ever want to pick it and use it for something else. Or do you want to be a can boy of some old man? Look, whoever pays my bills, yeah, I'm not too picky. Do I remember seeing a tweet that was, we should just put artists in cages and whip them to make art? You know, my friends have said the same thing about me DMing, like for D&D. But an artist retweeted, honestly, if you're gonna feed me, pay the rent, then sure. The cage would even have to be locked. Just add a couple pillows and they're good. Honestly, I would take that deal. Like, hey, you put it this way. What if they're like a big VTuber who is one of those people who have like a new outfit every like 2 months. And they're like, hey, you live here now. This is your food, your water, your snacks. There's a window in case you need like sunshine, which I'm immediately gonna cover with really thick curtains. And yeah, they're like, okay, make this model, make this thing for me. I would take that deal. I don't need to get paid money. Food and board for me and my cats is all I'd ask for. I got some soundproofing on my window to get rid of the light. Hold on, just imagine a buffering thing over my head. Soundproofing to get rid of the light. I don't think that's how soundproofing works. But if you're trying to get rid of the light, I did see this online. A very cheap hack is if you get like aluminum foil. It's two in one. Oh, okay, okay. See, I don't know these things. But yeah, if you want to just get rid of the light, um, you can take like I think you can spray water. You know, like those little misting bottles, like a little spray bottle. Spray water on it and put like a aluminum foil. It sticks to the glass and then completely covers it up. And if you want to take it off, you just like peel it off very easily. There's no glue, no nothing. I'm in a unit complex and my stream setup is right next to a window and the neighbors have to walk. Oh, that makes sense. Honestly, I was concerned about that because I have like housemates. And to get to their rooms, there's like a hallway that passes my room. Like room to hallway, not very soundproof, but room to room, you can't hear anything, which is really good. And then I was even concerned, like, oh, what if they hear me and this? I was like, at this point, I no longer care. I just show up, I do the thing, and I'm like, yeah, if they hear me, they hear me. I don't care. You can't soundproof people. I beg to differ. The spell silence works wonders. People say you only use it on wizards to stop their vocal component of spells. You know, some spells require you to chant out loud. Cast silence on them, kind of just take away their power. But sometimes, if people are being bothersome, yeah, just cast silence on them. It's like IRL mute button. One of my favorite spells, to be honest. The free DAWs where you don't need to pay the license. Oh, sorry, that's for something else. Brick place, so it's good soundproofing right now. Ah, okay. See, so we can soundproof audio and feather. Hey, you can't silence me. I cast brick. Yeah, I'm right behind you there. How the tables have turned. People are throwing bricks at you now. How does that make you feel? I'm out of water. This is sad. Ow. Not at me. Shut it, cat. Unrelated. Is it true that Kate just said, "Can I have mod?" and you gave him? I think I gave it to him, but I don't think he asked. I was just like, "Here you go." This was like very early on, and he was like one of my first regulars. So I was like, I don't have any mods, and you seem all right. Here you go. That was basically it. I think like a while, like much later, I realized moderation isn't too big of a deal unless you have like a lot of people. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I really need any mods. No. Seller was first, right? K was one of the first. Does that make sense? So yeah, I was just like, okay, I need someone who has like good vibes and is like here usually. So I'm like, there you go, you have this now. And then in the end, I realized I don't really need mods, not at this state, right? And I was like, should I take it back? And I'm like, nah, I'll just leave it. In case, just in case, like the day comes, I was like, yeah, if I ever need mods, I'll just keep them in reserve. So like, I already have a lot to just like pluck from. Can I have mods? Send me an application as to why you're the perfect fit for the job. Oh my god, I hate that in job interviews. They're like, what? Tell us why you are what's it called? They always ask me to explain like why I'll be so happy to work for them, and I try my best to not just say money. I got to do an application. Yeah, a job. You just. I did see recently, like a lot of people on like TikTok or whatever, they want people to censor the word like job and employment and this and that. I jokingly asked the mate if I could have mod and instantly go, no, you can't be trusted. I think you're trustworthy. I don't know how memeable you are, like in the sense of would you use the powers jokingly? That's I'll probably say that is the one thing that's on my mind. Is I'd like to have a job application. Yeah, my floor does need vacuuming. I don't have like an application. Yeah. If you're really, really passionate about it, you can probably just like write a very long letter on why. And if I can be, if I am convinced, then sure. I'll not be answering that question. I see. I know, for example, the only abuse of mod power is K, and that's refunding people's redeems. Or like when they throw bricks, they're like, dang it, I'm out of points. K is like, no, you're not. Refunds all of them so they can throw more. But that's okay. Like, this is a PowerPoint. Honestly, it'll, if you want, right? If you want, you can make the presentation. I'll put it on stream. They say power corrupts, so I don't know. Honestly, there isn't much of a team. Like we don't do anything. We don't need mods really. I've added some filters, so you notice like the bots don't pop in as much. And yeah. You know what? If we grow like more and people get like a bit unruly, then maybe I'll look into getting mods. Can make the application. I'll keep it on file. But yeah, actually, I don't think I'll be adding any more mods. Not at this time. Stick around, and if I'm looking for mods, sure. And I'm gonna go stream. Good luck, have fun. If K escapes containment here, I'll be returning them though. Well, have fun. Thanks for stopping by. A mod chat is just a break room. True. Originally, the idea was I was like, oh, it's for, how do you say that? Or don't ever stop streaming. I want a 3 hour stream. Please go for 3 more hours. I once did, what's my maximum? 6 or 8 hours? I think 6. God, was my voice destroyed after that. I don't think I could. If I make the PowerPoint, just send it to you or on Discord. I guess on Discord. Good. Have a 6 hour stream, mate, so I don't have to deal with. Okay, my voice is already giving out. I don't think I'll go more than 3 hours today. On the server, you can DM it to me. Or you can DM one of our mods. Up to you. Up to you. DM me. Yeah, you can send it to Seller. I've not touched the art in a while. We got a bit too into the yapping. What are we even doing? Okay, let's do the body physics at least. Is that one? I know how to do in like 5 minutes. Hmm. What if one day I get 500k points for a VGen discount or something? Well, if you double that, you get an entirely free model. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Just channel point discount codes. Everything free. Oh yeah. Open the Ordicoin redeems and go right to the bottom. You see free mascot commission. A free mascot commission by me, Art and Rig, worth $100. Oh, I should actually change that. It's worth 150. Hey, you know what this means? Ordicoin is now 50% more valuable. I did up my prices like a while back. So yeah, honestly, if you stick around long enough to save up 1 million points, you deserve a free model. But it could be a bit tricky because I don't know. They're not like standard prices, right? Like my models, they cost different things, right? For 150 is simple model. Like for example, if you get rid of the head, get rid of the arms, the head and the way it bounces is basically a simple model. Where is this? Yeah. So something like this is a simple model, right? It's just bouncy head, very round, that kind of stuff, right? More than that, and kind of like the price goes up a bit. Usually, this is what I do. This is my system. I have a questionnaire that you fill up, and one of the questions is budget, right? And sometimes people are like, "Hey, this is my budget. This is that." Whatever like their budget is, that's like the quality of the model they get. Like someone who has like a who pays like $300 for a model will get a $300 model, right? The price listed there is basically just like the minimum amount I'm willing to accept. So yeah, because some people, if they want like a very simple thing, like if they have like a high budget and a very simple thing, I actually be like, okay, this is a bit much. I only need like half of that for like this model. So it really depends. It's a case by case basis. That's why you have to like fill up the form. I read through it, discuss a bit. Then I'm like, okay, this is what I can get for you. Get an absolute good Orca model. Then the second. Wait, are you talking about like golds and stuff? You know, maybe I should get like an oh, do you see the little guys down here? I want to make more of them. I want to make them like the pay to use models. And I need more animals. So if I have these ones, I want to make a shark one. I have that in the works. Mm, yeah, I feel like Feather is the only one who can just come in here, be very, very aggressive and swearing, and it's all good because we know, that's just the way they are, very loud and angry, but inside, they're very sweet and loving. So, yeah. This is what I've noticed, right? In this chat, Feather, very mean, throws bricks at me. I don't know, all sorts of stuff. The moment he's on his own stream, actually, even when he's on his own stream, says a lot of mean things like that. As soon as he thinks I'm not there, goes around saying nice things about me to everyone. So I'm like, I see what you really are. A nice person. You thought you could hide that. He's Australian, cut him some slack. True. I was even thinking, like, do we give him a pass because he's like Australian? Or is that like kind of racist? I don't know. As an Australian, how do you feel about that? But it's nice. He tries to seem all bad and mean, but he's a softy. Exactly. Okay, Ori, if I get like a 1 million Ori coins, the mall gonna be good, decent. Do you see the ones on like the bottom left? The quality is about like that. You know, round, squishy thing. Came into my stream saying sorry for being a bother. Yeah. Okay, for example, right? Two different people can say the exact same thing and can be received very differently. Like from like close friends, whenever we're having like a shit talking and banter, I don't even think for a second like, oh, maybe I'm actually bothering them or maybe they're actually upset. Not even for a split second. But if, for example, someone comes into the stream, pretty new, we don't know them, they're just like hanging out for like the first time, and they start saying things like that, it does bring up the question like, are they doing a bid or are they actually mean? You know? So yeah. That's why like I'm a bit reserved here when people are like brand new. But after we see like, okay, they're pretty cool, they're chill, we know their intentions are good, then it's all good, you know? So yeah. Think Feather would actually try to, and so I think it's hee funny. Yeah, because you know like behind all that, the intentions are pure. So yeah, that's why sometimes when you try to make jokes like that with people, maybe you're not too you don't know too well, it might not be well received. So yeah, that's why I kind of put a little bit of the brakes on some of my humor when I go live, you know, because you know, yeah. That's why if you talk to like my closest friends, they're like, oh yeah, or he can be very sassy, sarcastic, and mean. You know, I try not to make those jokes here because sometimes people can take it personally. Like, not they get angry, like maybe they feel bad, and I don't want that. So yeah, I err on the side of caution. Okay, I know I said we'll do the hmm. I know I said we'll do the body physics. Then I realized an issue. If we have the physics like this, for example, if we have the physics like this, I want to have something that moves the head, but if we move the head in here, it accidentally gets triggered by this and the whole body vanishes. So I need to rework how I'm going to organize that. So yeah, that requires uh, a brain that has energy and can think. So yeah, which means I'm probably going to leave this for next time, or maybe we'll even start something new. Who knows? We'll see. You know what? I'm streaming tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just continue this one. I don't think I have the patience to start something new. You can think? Yeah. Shocking breaking news. I am capable of thought. There is a thought behind these eyes. Won't be here tomorrow. You will be missed. But it's okay. Can be there next stream. Till then, who do we know that's live? Oh, Feather was just here. Let's let us raid. Okay. Um we'll raid into Feather. My voice is giving out and I realize I'll talk about the notes for clips and stuff. To K. Okay. I mean, you only really need to do it if seller's not here or if he's busy. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. My voice is dying. Hmm. I should get a second water bottle. I don't think one is enough. So, I will see you all next time. Do I just wait for this raid thing to finish, or do I just hit the raid now button? You know what? I'll wait for it to finish. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Take care. Words are hard now. I can't think. So we'll see you all next time. I'll be here tomorrow. Bye bye.